Hey, it's Diego with Aim Shoot Develop. Today I'm going to be talking about this lo-fi instant Polaroid back for my Polaroid 600 SE. If you watched my last video talking about opening up the mail day, you'd see that I've got this. I'm going to go talk about this a little bit more in depth, and here's some updates on some of the things that I got from that mail day. So as I was saying, shooting 120 on my Polaroid mini portrait, everything aligns nice and neat. So once I have some 120 roll in here, what you do is just advance it like normal. It actually does clear, so you can actually do it. It's actually really nicely made. I don't know if they made it specifically for this camera in mind, but it's actually really nice. So be on the lookout for this. I will have a video shooting 120 portraits with the mini portrait soon, but back to it. We're gonna talk about this, the lo-fi instant back. So this thing I picked up in a lot of cool stuff. I ended up buying, you've already seen this one, which is my Polaroid 600 SE. Well, I ended up picking up another one because I think these cameras are really cool and having a backup. So this is my original one with the goose sticker, and this is the new one. They're both in really pretty good shape. It is a bit of a workout on my arms, so really cool, but I only carry one at a time. But it's cool because this one actually shoots Instax wide and Instax mini if need be. And then I do have this for regular Polaroid, so this is gonna be for Polaroid film, and then I have 120 film for my mini portrait, where I could swap accordingly whenever. The 120 film back does have a little dark slide, so I can remove it and then put in the other one. It'll expose one picture if I do it, I guess right, or I can take it off the back, and if I do it in the darkness, it'll probably be fine, but you can swap between them, but there's no dark slide on the Lomography Beller back, so just a little thing, I guess. But getting into this, the lo-fi back, I had shot a roll on it, and I'm here to talk about, or I guess a pack of film, and I'm here to talk about it a little bit more in depth. So here's some of the pictures that I'd taken, and you can see that once you insert it, obviously don't put it with a brand new pack of it exposed like this. You want to slap it onto the Polaroid camera and then push it. So you can see that when you close it, it's told basically not to expose anything. So what you do, once it's on the back like this, you press and hold this down, and then it'll spit it out like so. So there you go, and then you'll have your picture. Some of the things that you have to turn it to where the camera's like this. So if you mount it where the thumb part's here, the little button, you have to shoot it this way. So what I do is compose it this way, and then shoot and take a picture like that. Just something to keep in mind. I did see that there's another person who shoots the Mamiya RB67 with a similar converted back, and if you have the waist level viewfinder, it actually gets really hard to compose. With the Goose, it's kind of just compose the image and then turn it and then do it that way. So little things to keep in mind. Another thing that caught my attention with this, most people don't know, it's actually kind of noisy. It's not too bad. Obviously you can pick and choose when you develop the shots, so, but it does sound, I don't know, yeah, it's not that big of a deal, but I didn't expect it to be that noisy, if that makes any sense. I expected it kind of to be, I don't know, no, just not that noisy, I guess. But the cool thing is that you can pick and choose when to expose the images, so you can do double exposures, triple exposures, whatever you want. You can take the images, so that's something to keep in mind. That's really cool. The build quality on this itself is, it's half 3D printed, so here's 3D printed, and here's the Instant Lab. You can tell it's an Instant Lab. I've owned a few of them in the past, but you can tell by the little branding here that it is an Instant Lab, plus it has the USB port to charge up top. So it's half 3D printed to fit my Goose, half custom to do this. It does have a battery pack that's internally, or externally I believe, that you just put some 4 AAA batteries, and it does have this little screw mount, so you just fit it there and then put the screw mount. Actually really good, clever way of putting it. It actually looks pretty neat. I'm not a big fan of this wood grain here, but it does have a little company branding. I'll put a link to the seller who's selling these on eBay in the description. I'll also be linked to my Instagram to check it out. I've been talking about this for a little bit, checking out my story or even checking out my posts. I've been talking about this for a couple days now, before it had been posted on YouTube, so check that out. But pretty much overall, the build is really good. It's nice and sturdy. It does fit the aesthetic of the camera itself, which is nice. since it does have external batteries, you can shoot 600 film, which has an internal battery, and it's fine, it won't do anything. And then you can shoot I-type film. You want to measure ISO 640 for both of these, SX70, you can meter for that individually and still shoot it. So you can use all film formats. So let's say there's a film little back or color that you like. So this Stranger Things edition was only available for I-type, and since I can use all formats, I pretty much can pick and choose whatever film borders that I want. So I don't miss out on any special editions because I'm limited to only one format, which is really cool. So there's that. I got some of the new Polaroid stuff in that mail day video, but this back's actually really cool. Another thing to keep in mind is since it doesn't have just a button that you push to spit it out, it'll keep shooting out film, so you can see it from the back. This is one of my favorite pictures of myself. It was something that I accidentally taken with my Polaroid 680, so it's pretty funny. So if you hold it down, oh my god, I think the batteries died mid-video. One second. Okay, yeah, it wasn't the batteries, it actually got stuck for whatever reason. So there we go. This is a strange thing, but if you time it wrong, it'll actually push the image a little bit. You can see here that the border's already exposing some bits here on the side. So you can see there, it didn't push this because I timed it right. And because of that, you do sometimes get these black borders where the image isn't exposing here. It's definitely something that it does irk me a little bit in a sense. I did know to, originally there was a piece that was here. Let's see if I can find it. Okay, so I can't actually find it, but there was this little piece of 3D printed filament, or just like a little piece that was surrounding the border here, and it was like half on, half on. I think it was like glued on, and so I just took it off. It doesn't affect anything. The film plane's still exactly the same, but I think because of that little distance between these things, it was leaving these black bars. I'm gonna actually do an update on Instagram, shooting another pack of film without that little piece and see how it comes out, because it does irk me a little bit. And there's some shots that I have that I think were really cool, like this one. This is one of my favorite shots taken, and it does have this little black bar, which kind of takes away from the niceness of it. So something to keep in mind before purchasing them. I'd been eyeing these things for a long time. These things had been on eBay. Retail price for it's around $300. I picked this up secondhand from somebody who had bought it from somebody who bought it. I guess like I bought it from somebody who bought it from the original creator, and I got a little bit better of a deal. They threw in a couple more things and sweetened the deal for me to purchase it and finally dive in and test it out myself. So here you go. It's just, there we go. I'll go ahead and put it on the camera itself so you can see the ergonomics of what it's like on a Goose. They do have some for, like I was saying, the Mamiya RB67. Let's see. Oh man. It seems like all my videos are just me struggling to get things done, but okay. So here it is on my Goose. The cool thing that I like is that the shutter release here. So once you push it down, obviously there's no film. You push it down, take a picture, and then it's right here on the thumb. Oh, it seems to be kind of loose. There we go. It's right here on the thumb. So it's actually really cool. It's really well thought out. You can also flip it the other way, but it doesn't make any sense because when you hold like this, the picture would spit out into your hand if you naturally hold it with a little grip. So it doesn't make any sense to do it the other way. So when taking a picture, you want to shoot it like this, and it'll expose it properly, like so, the right way up, or like this. This is one of the test pictures that I'd taken. Here you go. You can see another one with another film pack that I'd taken with the Goose. This is still the Stranger Things film. This was my first time using the film, and I didn't know that on the back it does have the Netflix branding, and it has like a 1 of whatever film that it is. So this one's 15:16, Bring Him Home. And I think that's really cool. Something, little detail I don't think many people talk about on the pictures. So that pretty much wraps up this instant back. I'd probably make another standalone video or include this into my next videos, or talk about it on Instagram. If you have any questions, you can leave them down below about user experience. I'm definitely gonna try this out and it's really cool because these Polaroid 600 SEs, and you can also use it on the Polaroid Mini Portrait, it gives them new life. I'm definitely seeing these cameras become cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. That's why I ended up picking up 2 of them, because one, there's still options to shoot them, and I think that's really sick. So shooting the Polaroid film on this isn't too bad. The $300 price point I think is well worth it. Polaroid film is expensive. I think the Bel Air Instax wide back is the best, but finding them is actually really hard. And so it's actually cool to be able to point people in the direction and say, hey, you can pick up this back here's a link for it, and it's pretty readily accessible. So I think these are underrated. I remember wanting to buy them when peel apart film was still relevant, and it was like $800 or so. I ended up picking up this one, which is my original Goose, for around $200. So finding these deals and just capitalizing on it. So you're gonna spend a lot up front, but you're gonna have really good hardware, really good camera, something that's gonna last you a lifetime. These things are freaking tanks. So that's pretty much it. Check out my other YouTube videos. I talk about a lot of these other things in depth. I'm definitely posting very consistently about camera stuff. You can follow my journey on Instagram and see some of the previous things that I've been talking about. I'll leave links to everything down below. And yeah, I think that covers everything. If I didn't cover it, you can shoot me a DM on Instagram, same aim, shoot, develop. We can talk cameras, it's totally fine. Or if you want, you can leave it down below in the comments. So yep, that's pretty much it. Keep shooting film.